What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Hasbro Power Rangers Lightning Collection Mighty Morphin Deluxe figure, the Pumpkin Wrapper. And so here we have Pumpkin Wrapper pose and out of the packaging. Before we take a look at the figure, let's actually run through his accessories really fast. The Pumpkin Wrapper does come with 2 pairs of hands. We do get a pair of grip hands. We get a style pose right hand, and then a fist left hand. He also does come with 2 different vine accessories. We do get a short vine, which looks really nice. Then we do get a longer vine, which looks like a lasso. He does come with 3 pumpkins that you can put on either your Putty Patrollers' heads or the heads of the Power Rangers, so it looks like he's controlling them. And then finally he does get an effect piece in which you can store a pumpkin in and make it look like he's levitating it. Other than that, Pumpkin Wrapper doesn't come with anything else. I think another set of style pose left hand and a fist right hand would have been nice, but overall really nice accessories. So let's actually have a closer look at Pumpkin Wrapper. So here we have a closer look at Pumpkin Wrapper, and overall I think Hasbro has done a pretty good job with the sculpt here. It is very accurate to the costume that we saw on the show, so I have to give Hasbro props there that they did a very nice sculpt on this figure. Now, unfortunately, they are lacking a lot of paint. Now, this figure does have some inconsistencies with the show that the actual costume also had in promotional images. I have seen the costume have the same color as the pumpkin right here, so in some aspects it is correct. In other images, everything right here is black. The inside of it is black rather than the same color as a pumpkin. So yeah, it depends on which image you're looking at. There are some images that this is correct, some images where this is wrong, but I feel like this is completely wrong, that the eyes and the mouth should be black. So yeah, Hasbro really cheaped out on the paint, even though they did add a really nice paint wash to the figure's head. It looks really nice, very nice details on the pumpkin head. I feel like the inner of the mouth and the eyes could do with some black paint. That would probably make it stand out a little bit better, because from a distance it kind of just looks like a half-carved jack-o'-lantern. So yeah, not really a fan of how they painted the figure overall. He has a lot of nice detail, so I gotta give him credit there. He is loaded with detail. Everything on Pumpkin Wrapper is unique to Pumpkin Wrapper. He shares no parts with any other figure, which makes it even more mind-boggling on why they didn't take their time with this figure. He has a lot of detailing, and you can see they made a sad attempt in painting this figure, and I mean a really sad attempt, because they just added some black spots and called it a day. Even on the back we just have like a spray here and then 1 dot there. That's not how a wash works. You want to get all that nice detail washed out and then just wipe off the excess just to highlight those details. Hasbro just airbrushed some areas and then said, meh, it'll be fine, but it's not fine. It's really obvious that this is lacking detail. Unfortunately, that's the way it is, and really would have liked to see a wash throughout this figure. If this had a nice black wash throughout it, or an even darker orange wash and then a dark green wash, this figure would look so fantastic, but unfortunately Hasbro did not do it. And the original was it the 3D model that they had that had all that nice paint on it? I know King Sphinx is also a victim of it, but they had a lot of nice detailing on the initial prototype 3D rendering of it, that when it finally came out, they're like, it's good enough. It's not good enough. We needed that paint, because all this detail gets lost. I would have loved to see it just highlighted better than it is here. But Hasbro is going to Hasbro whenever they can. Looking at the positives, I do like his costume overall. It has this really nice pumpkin-y, vine-y look to it. You can see his vines right here going all the way down. The back looks like a wrinkled pumpkin that's past its prime, so I do like that. We have some of his foliage coming down onto his shoulders, which thankfully they did connect it to the shoulders and not the forearm, just because of the way it is. You can see I do have them with the grip hands right here. Like I said, I like this I just wish that this had some detailing in it, and this is a separate piece right here, his little collar. So if you pop his head off, you can take this off, which I'm almost inclined to just dismantle this figure and give him the wash he deserves, because this is a very nice looking figure that just needs paint. I mean, they did paint right here on his knees, but it's not enough if we're being quite honest. I do like his shoes though. He has these really nice shoes that kind of look like pumpkin vines going down. So I really do like the costume of Pumpkin Rapper. I'm just not a fan of the way Hasbro went about this figure. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get Pumpkin Rapper compared to other figures you may have in your collection. Here we have Pumpkin Rapper posed next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and a DC Multiverse Superman. Here we have Pumpkin Rapper posed next to a WWE Elite Scale figure and a Mezco 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. And finally, here we do have Pumpkin Rapper posed next to a Lightning Collection White Ranger and a Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. So with the comparisons out of the way, guys, let's actually have a look at Pumpkin Rapper's articulation. Now, surprisingly, he has some pretty good articulation, but as you would expect, this figure is very top heavy because of his giant pumpkin head. So let's actually run through his articulation really fast. He does have a ball joint here in the head, which does let him look up to about right there. He does get some pretty good downward movement, so I do like that. We don't get too much head tilt, but we do get a little bit, and then that does turn left and right. His arms are on butterfly joints, so they do pivot back and then pivot forward. They do go to about right there before his collar does get in the way, so he can do all the way around, but you would have to go at like an extreme angle, and just going all the way up, that's about as far up as they go. Going out to the side, I found that if you move his shoulder first and then rotate it, we get full horizontal, so it does go out all the way, in case you guys were wondering. We do have a very nice bicep swivel, double bend here at the elbow, giving us 90 degrees. Then we do have a swivel and hinge at the wrist, and that's for all his hands. We do have a ball joint here in the torso, which does move around nicely, really good range back and forth. Then we have an ab crunch, well, a reverse ab crunch, which does let him lean forward, and then leaning back, he goes back all the way, but again, he is very top heavy, so do be careful on how you have him posed, because he might be prone to tipping over. Legs do kick out quite a bit. I do like the range in that. Can kick forward to about right there, goes back, swivels at the thigh, double bend at the knee, as you can see, really good range there. Moving that back, he does have a rotation at his boot right there. We have a hinge in the ankle that goes back to about right there. Moving it forward, we get about right there, and then forward facing pin for rocker ankle. So overall, Pumpkin Rapper here has some pretty good articulation, although again, you do have to be careful because he is a little bit top heavy, and I was going to say he's prone to falling over, but reviewer's curse, he didn't fall over. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get Pumpkin Rapper posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so finally, here we do have Pumpkin Rapper posed for my final thoughts, and overall Hasbro did a really good job with the sculpt on this figure. Now, if Hasbro had only come through with the paint, this would be a much better figure. I'm not saying he's a bad figure by any stretch of the imagination. He's a really well sculpted figure, but a little bit of paint goes a long way, and just more paint on this figure would have done wonders. The amount of paint he has on his head is good. I would have liked to see the eyes and the mouth painted black, because I think that's a little more accurate to the source material. Again, I have seen some images where the colors match, but I've also seen some images where it's obviously darker, so I don't know what went wrong here. Hasbro just got lazy, which Hasbro's gonna Hasbro sometimes, but overall Pumpkin Rapper here has some phenomenal sculpt, and the articulation on this figure works. Despite the fact he has that giant pumpkin head, he has a really nice center of gravity because everything is going to be underneath that, so you just got to get his legs posed posed right, and you can get him in just about any pose you can imagine. Although I do think he could have done with another set of hands, another style pose hand for the left side, and a fist for the right would have been good, but overall, I'm really happy with Pumpkin Wrapper here. So if you are looking for Pumpkin Wrapper, he is very cheap on Amazon. Right now you can get him for 20 bucks, which I'm not gonna lie, I actually got my Pumpkin Wrapper for $8. They were doing a sale on Pumpkin Wrapper and King Sphinx, and I just had to jump on it. $8 for Pumpkin Wrapper. With the amount of paint and effort Hasbro put on him, I'll gladly take a $30 figure for $8. That is a steal in my book. So if you can get Pumpkin Wrapper for a decent price below $30, I really do recommend you pick them up. With that being said, guys, I'm King of Dragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and check out all my other action figure reviews as well as all my other Power Ranger videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it's in my collection, I'll gladly have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos. And as always, ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.